going to see what are the types of accounts that are available and what is a golden rule for each type of account. So these golden rules are going to be used for in preparing every kind of financial statement. Okay, so the first kind of statement that we can say, the first kind of financial statement is when we want store any transactions in the books of accounts. So if we see, we are going to learn too many concepts only in these two slides. Okay, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so first thing is, like, if we have n number of financial statements, for some of the financial statements there will be a sequence, right? So if someone asks you to create the trial balance account, so for that first you need to have a journal, ledger, then subsidiary books is optional, then trial balance. So in the coming videos we are going to use some set of transactions, and based of that we are going to create journal, ledger, subsidiary books, trial balance account, P&L account, balance sheet, cash flow statements. All those things we are going to see. But for now, for today's video, what we are going to see is what are these accounts, what are the golden rules, and we are going to see that we have some statements here, and for them we are going to have we are going to store them in books of accounts. So we are going to see what is the format and all. Okay, I hope so the index or agenda of today's video is clear. Okay, now if we see what is a personal account. Okay, so personal account, we can say when we are talking about any person in specific, or for some examples I can share, we say share capital, we say creditors account, we say debtors account, we say capital account. Okay, so the good thing about this video, in the complete duration you will see that if you are not able to understand as of now, okay, when we try to understand, or when we try to store any transaction in our books of accounts, you will get it. So no worries, if you are not getting it, don't pause or rewind and listen. It's fine, you continue with the video and you will be able to get it once we start to store transactions in our books of account. Okay, so that was our personal account. So how you will read the golden rules of debits and credits for personal account? So you will read is when the debit is happening in on the personal account. Okay, so what is the sequence? First you need to identify what is the type of accounts involved in the transactions, and when each account you are considering that either the debit is happening or the credit is happening. Okay, so that you need to identify, and based on that you will place the amount either left and right based on the format. Okay, so here we say that when a personal account is receiving the amount. Okay, so how you will read is, where the personal account is receiving the amount, we say it is debit. Okay, or when the personal account is giving the, okay, from the account it is going out or it is giving, then we say it is credit. So in general in books you will see that it will be read as debit the receiver, credit the giver, but it's our own way of learning. Okay, now coming to real accounts. Okay, so here we need not to consider any example. It is as simple as this. Any asset or any liabilities, okay, will come under real account. Assets, liabilities, everything. It might be the tangible asset, it might be intangible asset, it might be machinery, building, everything. Every asset and every liability will come under real account. So how I read is, like, in the books it will be like debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That is fine. I read it vice versa. So whatever coming in the real accounts, I say it is debited. Okay, whatever it is going out of the real account, we say it is a creditor. So I read it vice versa. Now the nominal account. So when you are seeing any transactions, right? So is there any expenses, or is there a loss incurred? So for those kind of things we go for the nominal account. So what are the examples? If you say, so if we are paying salary, if we are paying rent, so it is like expenses means nothing but the investment that we are doing so that the business is continuing to run. Okay, so those kind of accounts will come under nominal account. So if there is any expenses or losses happening, we say that for that nominal account the amount is debited, and all gains and incomes. I hope this is clear, right? So this was our steps which we are going to follow in the coming video. So the good thing is we are going to consider the same problem for the entire thing, because if you want to generate ledger, you have to create a journal before that. So it is like dependent on each step. Okay, so now let's get back to our problem statements. Before that, what we are trying to do is, for each transaction, right, for each transaction we want to store the transaction in our books of accounts. So that is the very first thing. So before creating any financial statement, we have to store it in our books of accounts. So let me give you an example first. Okay, so suppose this first statement is one transaction. So in this, our cash account is involved and our capital account is involved. So we can say for every transaction there will be debit, there will be credit. Means there will be two accounts for sure, not more than two. Only two accounts, and double impact is happening in every transaction. That is, if I am giving you money, means somewhere it is debiting, somewhere it is crediting. Now where it is crediting, where it is debiting, don't worry about that. You will get it in a moment. Okay. So the format of storing a transaction in books of account is this. So we will first identify what are the accounts involved. Okay, so we'll write account here, first account here, second account here. Okay, now debit credit will be there under both of them. That is fine. Now we will see account 1 is what kind of account, whether it is a nominal account, real account, personal accounts, and then we, based on that, we will identify whether the amount that is included in the transaction, whether that is a debited or credited with respect to account 1. Similarly with respect to account 2. Now the good thing about this is that if you don't know what kind of account is account 2, okay, in that case you might face difficulty in finding whether the amount is debited or whether the amount is credited. So what you will do is, you are able to identify account 1 and you are able to see that amount is debited. So for sure the other account which is involved, it is credited, and the vice versa. So this is one good thing. Like if you are not able to identify what kind of account the one of the account is involved, so based on the other account you can simply decide it. Okay, so now I think concept wise it is clear. Now we'll try to resolve each of the transactions. Okay, so first transaction is started business with the cash amounting 40,000. So here what are the terminologies you are seeing? You are seeing the business is happening and the cash account is involved. So one of the account that we see is cash account, and the other is the capital account. So you can say that where or how did you say that it was a capital account. So as soon as you do other transactions you will get to know, but because this is the first time I am showing you this. Okay, so here the capital account means it's like includes the international transfer, example of foreign purchase. So any kind of purchase, or it's like a major kind of account for running the business. Okay, so for example, oil companies acquisition, drilling rights. So here you can see rights, and you will see somewhere like loans, or you can say you are trading with your rights. It like we have copyrights. Okay, so those kind of things, like Coca-Cola has formula. So those kind of that is again an intangible asset, so that will have different account. But here it was a kind of so the things which I can say that if you are not able to what I guess categorize in some of the accounts, you will be confused with the capital account. But capital account is like the main one of the main account which is meant for running the business. Okay, so for now like just keep in just consider it as a capital. As soon as you do other transactions, and you will see that what kind of account comes under the asset or liabilities, then you will identify that why we are considering capital account here. Okay, so this you hold it till the end of the video, and finally you will get it. That is not an issue. Okay, so capital account is like meant for running the business. Okay, so first transaction that we said is the cash account was involved. So what kind of account is cash account? So cash account has money, the money which you can use as of now. So it is, we can say it is an asset. Okay, so cash account is an asset. So here we said that real account is nothing but asset and asset, one second, asset and liabilities. Okay, similarly nominal account means all the expenses and losses. Okay, that is written here, expenses, gains, income. So this is clear, right? Now cash account is our asset. Now as I said that capital account is like one of the account which is meant for running the business. Now cash account gave. Okay, so first deal with the cash account. So started business with the cash. So 40,000 came into the cash account. So what we say, what comes in. So 40,000 came in the real account, means we have to debit it. So here our cash account is here and 40,000 is debit. I hope this is clear. So here we are not directly writing anything. First thing is we are identifying the accounts, then we are identifying the type of account, then we are identifying whether it is a debit credit, then we are entering. So these 4 steps are involved. Okay, next is our capital account. So 40,000 cash account got. Okay, now the capital account responsibility is to return back those money. So it is like a asset and liability. So here capital account needs to return back the money. So it is holding the amount which is liable to the company, so it has to return it. Now asset and liability, so capital accounts will come under the liability. So here we can say this has to be given to someone, okay, from which we borrowed money, so it will be going out, so that's why we credit it. Okay, so here again we are going to write the same amount, that is 40,000. I hope this is clear. Now let me copy this to the next slide. Control C, Control V. Okay, so this is fine. Now our second transaction, let's clear our accounts, let's clear our amounts. So this thing we are going to do for all. Next we have deposited amount of 1 lakh in the bank. So here what all accounts are involved? One is the 1 lakh, amount of cash is involved, so we will write down cash. Now the next is the bank is involved, so we will write bank account. Okay, don't worry about any other steps as of now. First step is we have identified the accounts. Now the next step is we have to see what is the category of this account. So cash account is, just now we have seen, the cash is means it holds the money which we can use it anytime, so it is like our asset account. Okay, so here we are saying deposited amount of 1 lakh. So consider you are depositing 1 lakh in bank, so your money is getting reduced, right? So you are giving back the cash. So we'll say the cash account is asset account for sure, and it is going out. So we'll go back and we'll see that our cash account was asset, so it is a real account, and it is going out, so we have to credit the amount. So what was the amount? Yeah, so here we are crediting 1 lakh. This is fine. Now the other is bank account. So keep in mind that when we are referring to a third person or a third party or organization or a company, we consider that as a personal account. So here this is an account of a bank. Okay, this is a bank's personal account. So let's see. So here the bank, which is a personal account, is getting 1 lakh rupees. I hope that is clear. So bank account is the second account involved in this transaction, and it is receiving the amount, and it is what category? It is a personal account. So personal account is receiving, means a debit. Okay, or you can also say, since you are like if you are not able to identify bank as a personal account, you can also say because there was a credit already done, the other one is of course bank. So based on this also you can identify. Okay, let me copy this again, paste it here, and let's go for our third transactions. So third transaction is purchased furniture of 80,000 in cash. So forget the amount, first identify what are the accounts involved in this. So we can say we have a furniture account, furniture, and then we have a cash account. Okay, so furniture is what? It is going to be useful for the company or the organization to produce or to run its business in a profitable manner. So furniture is one of our, like furniture, machines, buildings, all these are our asset. Similarly cash is also, okay, let's forget cash first, let's complete our furniture. So furniture is our asset account, and here we are saying purchased furniture, means we are getting the furniture. So furniture is coming in and it is a asset account. So we will go back and see. So this is a furniture will come under asset, and furniture is coming in, so we say we debit. So we have to debit what? 80,000. Similarly, now of course we know because furniture is debited, other one is credited, but that is like when we don't understand the concept. But now let's understand the concept. So cash is an asset account and cash is going out. So asset account means nothing but a real account. Real account, money is going out, means what we have to do? Real account, money is going out, so we have to credit. So here we are going to do the credit, 80,000. Okay, now this transaction is done. Let me copy, paste. Okay, now let's move on to our fourth transaction. So fourth transactions, what all are involved? company purchased goods on credit from Rohit. Okay, so here something is happening worth 50,000. Okay, and means some other transaction is going to start. So let's first complete this much. Okay, so company purchased goods on credit from Rohit. So here which accounts are involved? We can say we have a Rohit. So here we are saying some third person is involved. So we are going to say that we have Rohit here, and we also have the purchase account. So we are going to have accounts like sales account, purchase account. So when we are going to we regularly do this, then we can say okay, this is the account, this is the account, because initially when we are seeing okay, if purchase account is there, then it is possible that goods account will also be there. So this will you will able to identify when you try to solve multiple problems, and you get a good amount of experience. Okay, so here we are trying to purchase. So this is like one of the generalization of one category. That's why we are creating a purchase account. Purchase. Okay, now the amount involved is a 50,000. So let's see first. Rohit is what? Rohit is a person, and here it's a personal account because it is a third party, or a different organization for us. So Rohit is a personal account. What is happening? Company purchased goods on credit from Rohit. Okay, so credit means it something which we have to give. We have not given the amount yet, we have to give. So we can say okay, let's talk about that later. So Rohit has sold 50,000 to us. So we can say that 50,000 amount has to be given to Rohit. So let's see, Rohit is our personal account and amount is 50,000. So personal account you can see, and he is doing what? He has given the 50,000 what you can say 50,000 rupees goods, but did he receive the money? No. So here we are talking about what? Here we are talking about goods, and there is no money involved here. You can say, is there any cash involved? No. Here the goods are involved. So we are going to see whether goods are coming in or going out. So Rohit, with respect to Rohit, we can say that goods are going out. So in personal account, goods are going out. So he is the giver. So we need to credit it. So what we need to credit? 50,000. Similarly, purchased goods means goods are coming inside of the purchased account, and purchased account is what? It is a asset. So we can see asset means real account, and it is coming in. So of course that will write in the debit part, 50,000. Okay, so let me copy this to next slide. New slide. Control A, remove, Control V. I didn't copy it. Let me copy here so that you can refer it completely again. Okay, now the same transaction we are going to see, and what is the next thing is sold for rupees 65,000 in cash. Okay, company purchased goods on credit from Rohit worth 50,000 and sold for 65,000 in cash. Now here we are going to see that we have two more accounts involved in the next transaction, that is the transaction after. So what we can see, what is happening here? We had purchasing, now here we have selling account. So we can say we have something called sales account, and here the cash is involved. So of course cash account is involved. Let's remove this amount. Okay, now let's see. So sold for 60,000. Okay, so we are familiar with cash, right? So let's write that. So cash means sold for 65,000 means 65,000 is getting into the cash account. So we can say the asset account is getting 65,000 means what? Asset account is getting like what? It is coming in. So we have to debit. So cash account debited 65,000. But so we can similarly say 65,000 is going to be is sold out. But how to learn this? So sale happening, so it is something going out. Okay, so 65,000 sales account, it is going out means what goes out we do the credit. I hope that is clear, right? Now let's move on to our fifth transaction. Let me pause and copy paste. Okay, I did, and let me remove these accounts and the amounts. So our fifth transaction is paid salary of 40,000 to employee. So here we can see salary account is involved, and what is 40,000? Cash account. Okay, so in general if we see with respect to other transaction that we have seen, we can say the cash account is involved because here 40,000 mentioned. No, when there is some other terminologies are there, first use that, and if it's nothing is there, then what is the intention behind the transaction, that we need to identify. Okay, so here salary is clearly mentioned, so for sure we are going to do that. So if we say paid a salary of rupees 40,000 to employees, that's it. Okay, in that case we can say that who paid it, company paid it. So there will be an expense account. So the company is paying means amount is going from the cash account to the salary account. But here we are saying that we have some additional terminologies. By issuing check, it means the amount will go to bank account. Okay, so from there it is going to be into the salary account. So we can say here the salary account is getting the money, and from where, because it is a check means the check will get the money from the bank to salary. So we have two accounts, that is salary account and we have bank account. So if we don't have this terminologies, right, by issuing check, then we can say paid salary of 40,000. Since nothing is mentioned, we can consider it as a cash account. Okay, now let's get back to this. Now I think so far you have dealt with the cash account, bank account, so many things. So what is bank account? It is something third party, so we consider it as a personal account. Now personal account, amount is going out. Okay, so personal account amount is going out, the giver means credit. So here we are going to credit the amount 40,000. So for sure we know that here we are going to have the debit. But what is happening here? Salary is kind of a asset account. So we can say that a salary, which is a asset account, the money is coming in. So what comes in the real account, it is debit. Because you are using it n number of times, you will be like this will be feeded in your mind. Okay, so let me copy paste this again. Okay, and then we are going to clear this, clear the accounts, clear the amount. Now let's get back to our sixth thing. So here paid cash for 10,000 rent. So what all things are involved? So here we see the terminologies are there. Cash account is there, and there is a real world entity, object kind of thing, so which is a rent. So we can say cash account is involved, and there is something in which money is going in, rent account is involved. So we will see that cash is for sure a real account because we have used it so many times. A real we are saying because it is an asset account. So from here money is going out. So 10,000 a real account, money is going out means credit. So here we are going to add 10,000 in our credit thing. So now we are sure that 10,000 is going to be added under the rent. But you need to see what is a rent account. So we can say rent is something which we are paying because of our liability. So this is our liability account. Now what is liability? Liability is come under a real account. So liability is rent is getting. So what comes in is nothing but debit. So if we go, we can say we have debited it. So I hope this thing is clear, right? So let me copy this again. Okay, pause and do. Yeah, that is done. So let me clear the accounts, clear the amounts. Now our last transaction is money. Machine is depreciated by 8,000. Okay, so here what all accounts are involved? One, we can say machine. So should we write machine? So just like I said that we have a purchased account or sales account, we cannot say purchase means comb is purchased, bat is purchased, or something is purchased. We simply have purchase account. It can have n number of other goods and products. Similarly, when we are saying machine and depreciated, okay, so here we are not going to write machine account, building account, like that. Okay, we are going to use asset account. So if you want to differentiate between multiple assets, we can use at the machine account as well. But as of now, we are going to use it as a general level. So we are going to say that machine is an asset. Now we have other account called depreciation account. Okay, so here the amount is 8,000. Now we know that machine is something that we are using to generate profit. So it is an asset. Okay, I mean asset in the sense it is a real account. So real account is the value. Okay, let me clear this. Okay, so here whether it is a debit or credit, let's see that. So machine is depreciated. So depreciated is something we are paying, like we are not paying literally because the money value is getting reduced. We can say some value is going out. So depreciated is nothing but we are paying something, or the value we are losing to do the business. So here depreciation is nothing but a liability, and liability money is going out. So what is happening? In the liability means real account and the money is going out, so we say we credit it. So here 8000 is nothing but credited, and the debit is the 8000, means this currently we are holding it in the asset account. I hope that is clear. No, account I have reversed it. Deprecated, this is deprecated and this is our asset account. Okay, because what is happening is we have a machine and the value is going out from that asset, so we say 8000 is credited, it is going out. Okay, what goes out is our credit. So here the value from the asset is going out and it is like coming into our liability account, that is 8000, which is gone from the asset value. I hope this is clear. So this, whatever we did so far, is we can say that we have stored the transaction in our books of accounts. Now because these rules are clear for us, these golden rules are clear and the types of accounts are clear, these journal lectures, only the formats will be different, but remaining the concepts and all, it will be very easy once we are very much familiar or good with our books of account. So that was all for today. If you have any queries with respect to accounts or steps, okay, you can write down in the comment section. So finally we'll have only this thing. So what we did initially, new slide. Okay, this is not required. So first step that we did was identify accounts, right? And the second thing that we did was, after identifying an account, we are going to see which category does it fall to, like real, nominal, personal. Okay, now once we identify this, we try to find whether it is a credit or debit based on our golden rules. Try credit or debit based on golden rules. So in these steps we can like have the transaction stored in our books of accounts. So that's it for today. If you have any queries, please write down in the comment section. If you like the explanation, please subscribe and support. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.